Good morning to everyone. During the last 3 days, I shared with you the meaning and definition of benevolence, Almighty God's view on benevolence, and why the virtue of benevolence should be incorporated into our daily lives. Today, I will mention a few accounts of benevolence that are recorded in the Bible. There are numerous biblical accounts of benevolence. In the Old Testament, Leviticus 9:10, there is an account of people generously sharing their harvested crop with the less fortunate, and people were expected to display benevolence in those days. In the New Testament, Luke 19:1-10, we are told of Zacchaeus who gave half of his goods to the poor. Then, John 8:3-11 relates the story of the woman accused of adultery. Jesus rendered assistance to this distressed woman who was about to be brutally stoned to death by her accusers. The self-righteous Pharisees were adamant. According to the law, she was guilty and must be punished. Jesus exercised compassion, mercy, kindness, love, and goodness towards this unfortunate woman. In verse 8, he addressed the woman's accusers. He who is without sin cast the first stone. Abashed, the Pharisees dropped their stones and silently departed. Jesus absolved the woman of her sin and admonished her to go and sin no more. Verse 11. What an amazing act of benevolence. Another account in Luke 10:30-37 epitomizes the higher level of kindness displayed by a man to his fellow man. A Jewish man traveling from Jerusalem to Jericho was ambushed by bandits and left half dead at the side of the road. A priest came by. He watched the man and he crossed the street and calmly went on his way. A temple assistant reacted negatively. He too watched the man, passed by without rendering assistance. A good Samaritan, a Jewish man, stopped. He looked at the man. He soothed the afflicted man's wounds. He took him to an innkeeper and he paid for his recovery. This stranger recognized a need and immediately assisted. He displayed love, compassion, and generosity, all attributes of benevolence. These are just a few biblical examples of benevolence. God gave us a template that we should follow. We must be mindful that we must be mindful that what we do for God is conditional. For example, the Bible tells us in 2 Chronicles 7:14, if my people who are called by my name would humble themselves and pray, I would hear from heaven and I would heal their land. Again, Jeremiah 33:3 tells us, call upon me and I will answer. I will show you great and mighty things which you do not know. So, these conditions, if we fulfill them, God will act accordingly. When we follow God's examples and display benevolence towards our fellow men, we will reap immense rewards. As these accounts penetrate our thoughts, may we be moved to respond positively to assist those in need. So I thank you for listening today. Do have a blessed day. We continue tomorrow. Please join me.